The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. As always, it doesn't matter where you're at, as long as you're here at this time.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And a little bit worse for wear after having a huge weekend. Had friends down that I've known for 45, 46, 47 years. So, man, showed them all over the town. Had all kinds of stuff. We were out on the water. Got to see Here Come the Mummies. If they ever come to your town, hey, make sure you get it. $100 tickets. We're going for $400 that night on Scalp. The greatest band you've never heard of. Anyway, that booze cruises, everything else. I am tired, but I'll make it through the show, but barely. S&P up 13 points. Was pushing 4,600 earlier in the day. Same thing with the NASDAQ was up. It's now up about 16. Had a big push, a lot of euphoria yesterday. I was looking for the turn today in that. Probably a couple of reasons why, but I was pretty sure that it was going to fade. We've got a few things going on. When we look at Facebook, saw it was, see if I can get it up here. Where's it at? There it is. Dirty little rat. Okay. The leaks just keep on coming for Facebook. Big candle, break through the low on volume. The problem with this one and Google is documents came out and showed that they were price fixing ad prices. That's a no-no. Got their hands in the cookie jar, along with about 20 other things that showed that they weren't too worried about human trafficking or everything else. Didn't matter if you wanted to cut some heads off in the Middle East. That was fine. But, man, if you had a political opinion in the United States that he did not like, found lots of documentation to show that the thing that they woke up and lived life for was making sure that others didn't have free speech. And, of course, just a horrific load of other things happening, too, at the defaced book. But them and Google, Google wasn't reacting much into it. I think maybe because they don't have quite the same problem in that everybody's hating on them as much as they are on Facebook right now. It actually gapped up a little bit on lighter volume. Both companies, though, huge, massive problems with antitrust. Fixing prices, the quickest way to hell at the Federal Trade Commission that there is, much less a lot of them talking about busting them up. It's a lot like the proverbial camel where you've got the last blade of straw that finally breaks the camel's back. Google, it's been a little easier on it than Facebook, but these documents that continue to leak, a lot of times from other countries showing just how evil the Facebook is. But down, breaking the lows. Google, not so much. I think it's just drafting a little bit behind Facebook. We'll probably see the same thing fairly shortly. All we need is a good look, good leak to show us where the bodies are buried, like the fake book. and we've got it on. Okay, other things going on in the market besides that. We've got some other folks that probably been dodging some behavior for a while. That's Nike. Was interested to see how well this one, or if it did gap down. You have several of the players, one really outstanding, asking Nike when they're going to quit supporting slavery in China. And I'm wondering what the NBA is going to do. These guys are more than willing to kind of sell their souls to get into China. And NBA, big deal over there. And, of course, nobody bigger in the NBA than Nike, but not much movement there yet. Again, Facebook gives you a good indication of these things don't all happen in a day, and they become cumulative until they truly do break the camel's back, and you see the downside in it. Other things that I saw very interesting starting on Friday over the week. The biggest housing or the most, what would you call it? Not the biggest housing market, but the most overrun, the biggest balloon, the biggest, what would you call it? Just the most overheated market, I think is probably the way they refer to it today. In housing, which is Boise, Idaho, took a major hit over the last 7 or 8 days in housing prices. Some people are saying that it was fear of missing out that drove the prices up, and now a fear of missing the highs that is seeing everybody come to market with a house in Boise, Idaho. This is not the only one. We started seeing that kind of numbers earlier in the morning by the Schiller House Index. But nothing goes to the moon, and generally nothing goes to zero either. But starting to see at least some of the chinks in the armor that we have seen before in previous bubbles of that. The camel's nose is no longer just at the edge of the tin, it's in it. Yeah, my Mixing Metaphors Award is safe for yet another year. Yeah, overinflated, just how can you say? So we've got a lot of people acting badly. Question is when and where they wake up along with the other ones. Netflix continues to fight NFLX its own employees to put out what they think is interesting stuff like the Dave Chappelle specials. Interesting, it really hadn't bothered. In fact, it's probably done a little bit better other than the fact that the market rolled over here. Still see Netflix doing fairly well. Volumes, though, just like the rest of the market and a lot of these individual equities, has been going down for the last 5 days. We'll be back in a minute. We'll start talking a little history. Then we'll start looking at individual equities.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month, and try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And we're back. Get to the EMP. Got a couple of questions about that already today in the hopper. But what are we going to do? We're going to do a little history.
And it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Only 2 days after the Transcontinental Telegraph line opened, the Pony Express ceases operation. Prior to the opening of the cross-country telegraph line, Pony Express was the fastest way to send communications between St. Joseph, Missouri, and San Francisco, California. Again, all these businesses are transitory. They may last a little while or a long time, but it's only a matter of time generally before something better comes along. You just got to recognize it and know that, yes, there will always be the last Pony Express ride, the last buggy whip, the last of everything. Generally, most people don't know it. Okay, but that's it. Just last day. Okay, as we get back to advanced micro devices, this has been kind of moving up. They're getting into high-powered computing. What is this? HPC something. Forget what it means right now. I was reading about it last week. Anyway, the big thing, I think, on a technical scale is the previous $122.49 high. On that, you had some massive volume of August 4th, 225 million shares. Yesterday, 47 million shares. Today, probably going to do 55, maybe 60 million shares. You went through it. Probably going to close back below that 122. Just guessing at the now, 123.70. It's the latest tick. You might just be right there. Certainly, you're not going to have the volume. Just more than likely, probably in a trading range until we see some better numbers coming out caused by shortages of a variety of things. But what are they doing? What is this push? They're doing the exact same thing that NVIDIA did, which is get into high processing kind of things with their graphics processor units. NVIDIA, of course, has a huge huge lead in that business because they worked since 2010 in writing libraries to use their GPUs for machine learning. Advanced Micro Devices is doing the same thing. They're going to make processors with embedded GPUs to go up into these huge facilities where they may have 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 GPUs to do these big complex machine learning tasks. And of course, if no one really understands why GPUs are so necessary and why NVIDIA has done so well, think of it as these GPUs can do, let's say college, let's call it 12th grade math calculations for calculus, algebra, and that kind of stuff. So they can do the same thing that a fairly decent hand calculator can do. But what they can do is do all those in parallel. That is, if they've got 5,000 cores, they can make 5,000 different combinations or calculations as long as they're not interlocked. And a lot of things in machine learning are that way. That is, that that one calculation does not affect another calculation. And especially for machine learning, you're multiplying and dividing and adding and subtracting and expanding and shrinking matrices. And that's kind of always a tough subject to broach for a lot of people who don't or did watch The Matrix, but watched it in 2D. The whole thing is that you do have an X and a Y, but you also have a Z. And that's where these really start shining, and that is when you have a depth to your data. That depth's almost always time, but not always. But life is truly the Matrix. The movies were probably 20 years before their time in understanding that everything could be calculated using a matrix. But that's kind of it. These things are giant number crunching machines. None of them really more than a really fast, in fact, about 1 billion times faster than a hand calculator, but that's what they are. And they can all multiply and divide. You can separate all the jobs. It's kind of like anything. It's kind of like if you had a bunch of lanes for checking out at the Walmart, and you only had one cashier, big line starts to form. But hey, you get all 12 of those lines running. It's right before Christmas. You can run a lot more people through it. So it's being able to parallelize all the calculations. So Advanced Micro popped up there. I mean, they got all the business they can stand. On the opposite side, the downgrade on Intel, but I've been downgrading it for several years. We talked about it last week, getting ready to bust through that 52 level. It did so today, a couple of days ago with a big thud, and things aren't getting any better. You blew through 50 on volume of 109 million shares. The problem with Intel is not going to be an easy one. You don't turn around a giant chip on a dime, and to my knowledge, you still have the same horrible folks that were in the the guys that are on the board of directors that haven't woke up. My guess is you're really, from what I've seen the last couple of months, you really need to get rid of everybody on the board. And I'm wondering how long that is. But I have a feeling if you could throw everybody out of the sitting board on Intel, this would probably have a much faster return. 877-927-6648 is the number to call. And let's see what we have here. Okay. I think everything. Okay. Question about the TLT from Joe. I didn't put one extra T there. Dean Wormer. Yes, you got to know. 20-year bond, little gap up here this morning. There isn't a lot of volume yesterday or today. You really just tied the last 3 days. It's getting harder and harder for the Fed to hold all this up. I suspect the moves in the housing markets are foreshadowing at least slightly higher interest rates going forward. 877-927-6648 is the number to call right now.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
As we are back, more questions actually earlier today, but I'll answer them on the air too. And that is what's going on with Micron. Resistance levels right at $70. I don't think you can make a lot of decisions till it gets back over that if you want to go long. Again, Intel, AMD both came out yesterday, talked about shortages going all the way in through 2022 before everything turned around. Intel, a lot of its blowout lower was blamed on shortages. I'm going to say more of it was that AMD took its laptop business away to a great extent. AMD was able to offer them both a honking fast GPU and a processor for the more expensive laptops. And I think that's kind of it. But, we'll see. TLT 144.82, so we're continuing to see a little bit more. Since I wasn't here yesterday, I'm not really sure what the big push was. Was it more Fed juice? Was it better or a better outlook on COVID and vaccinations? There are few things going on. It'll probably take me a couple of days to get back up to speed. But there was the euphoria from something. And I don't know if it's just the Fed that's going to keep pumping to keep things going. But certainly, nice move yesterday through previous highs. We didn't have all the volume we wanted. Probably should add 16 billion shares. So I'm still feeling a little bit bearish. But things like AMD and Micron are not really saying that the SMHs are going to the moon here. Eventually, I think they are. Again, these guys have 3 or 4 times the business in the next 6 months that they could deliver. There just isn't that much there. Okay, last 2 days, volume in the SMHs. We're going to do a little better today, 270, 273. Could you get to 276.69? Stumble up there? Probably could. Just things aren't getting any better for the delivery systems at Long Beach, although people continue to kind of try to ignore it. What I dislike most of what's going on here right now in the SMH is you can see on my power law vector indicator number, which measures the energy like you were heating your home or air conditioning it. Always generally the biggest part of your bill for electric. You had a lot of energy on the way down from that September 16th high down to the October 4th low. You're doing about maybe 65% of that energy on the way back up. Even the big gap up on the 14th didn't have any kind of spectacular volume. And kind of up on light volume here. Maybe that'll turn around or maybe it'll start coming in. But it's all a supply issue, not a demand issue. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I'm still thinking that for a lot of the semiconductor business that depended on Christmas sales at Best Buy, there's still fairly significant problems coming in. Apparently. You don't know the half of it. I had one guy that was with me that figured out how many beers he had to have to actually go into the black from the price of the ticket. So that didn't end up well. We'll just say that. Anyway, Best Buy back up to resistance. It poked its head up there. Energy in this big trading range, not as bad as I might have thought. Previous high came in at 3.4 million shares at 124.12. That was August 25th. 1.8 million shares so far. You also gapped down to set that level back on the 11th of May with 2 million shares. So that's probably not as bad as the gap down, but even the high last time at 3.7 million shares. And not much out here on the 1.8 million shares. Of course, Best Buy making about half of its money selling iPhones and Samsung Galaxies. Maybe a fourth of it selling PCs and computer parts. But you walk into that store, they got about, 1,000 square feet of that 5,000 square feet store is cell phones, and that's half of their business. Setting up, they make a lot of money on the back end of setting up contracts for different carriers and all that stuff. make a little bit on the phones themselves, but that back end, if you hold the phone for 2 years, they really cash in. 877-927-6648. A very fancy set. What do we have here? Up 17 points on the S&P cash. Dow's up 70. NASDAQ's up 39. Russell's up. If you stand on your head, it's up 7. If you stand unlike an Australian, you're down 8. Crude oil continues to punish the poorest of Americans, up another $1. What else do we have out here that I wanted to look at? Those were the ones I started talking about. See what else we have out here. Question about Snap. Can this really come back? We talked a great deal about the iOS debacle. That is basically Apple putting in a firewall that Facebook could not get through. Snap couldn't either, and they were just hurt significantly worse. You'd have to get back to 57.48 to get back into the trading range. I don't see how that happens that quickly. At one price, they may be a buyout candidate, but I don't know what that price would be. Maybe $30, but that's about it. We looked at that, got a couple of questions about Apple, so we'll move on there. Again, one of the probably sales wouldn't be that great for Apple, or at least that's a lot of thought. The energy up's a little bit less than you probably like off that 138.27 low. The one good thing about Apple is that they can probably get smartphones to Best Buy for Christmas. So why that place may be vacant of a lot of things, decent, let me put it this way, mid-priced to lower-priced laptops, mid-priced to lower-priced big ultra-high-definition televisions. That's stuff that may have a hard time getting here because it almost always ships by a ship. Apple doesn't have that problem. Load up the 747, boys. Flush the big Boeings. We need a bunch of iPhones for Christmas. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
As we come back, good question about volume and what does it mean. Well, I have a good idea that the close is going to be hyper important today. We're just up 14 points on the S&P cash now. Volume has been huge. Normally we come with 6 or 7 billion shares at this time. We're already over 9 billion shares. So as I said yesterday in my newsletter this morning, there is a ton of euphoria in the market. Maybe justified from Fed pumping with that TLT at 144.89. But I think a lot of people just maybe went a little bit and jumped the shark yesterday on that. Micron, like I said, a lot of those semis, I would have felt a lot better if we would have seen better efforts out of AMD or Micron. Haven't looked at some other ones yet. As I look at Apple, one of the things you really got to watch out here is if it can close below the 3x3 displaced moving average. So really all it has to do is move down $1, and it could come back to about 144, 145 fairly quickly. Not a big deal if you're a long-term holder of it, but again, still a huge part of the indexes. Got some more emails here. VIX looks like it was making a bottom. I thought so yesterday. Today it looks a little bit better. Very hard for me to think that if we don't close flat on the S&P with all this volume, yes, that it should start heading up higher. See what else we have going on here. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Question, what should we do when we come to Tampa? Depends on what you like. A lot of people like different stuff. I like going down to the aquarium. We spent a couple of hours yesterday on the Victory ship. That's one of those freighters built in 45 days during the war. They've got a really nice one down there by the wharfs. As I said, beaches, lots of places to eat. There's a lot of stuff going on. But this stuff I like to do, I don't know if everybody else likes to do. But my buddies all like to do it. We like to go and look at boats, go out on the water for a while, hang out on the beach, watch the girls walk by. Always a good thing. We spent Sunday afternoon on St. John's Pass. That was really nice. They've got a couple places on either side of that. That's kind of more of an older Florida kind of thing. Where everybody kind of going out into the Gulf, kind of interesting. Anyway, like I said, Apple, keep a close eye on it. VIX, yes, I think we've got something going on here. Question about Seagate. I think this is going to be problematic for both Western Digital and Seagate. They got their hands caught in the cookie jar selling to Huawei, which is banned. Don't know just how long this is going to take to sink in Western Digital. Western Digital looks like the weaker of these bunch. I don't know how big the fine is going to be for these hard drive manufacturers, but yes, they've been selling to the folks, and the question is why is the U.S. government worried about selling hard drives to Western Digital? And that is they're worried about them putting stuff on that hard drive and then reselling them as new. The Trojan horse has been replaced with the Trojan hard drive, the Trojan email, the Trojan everything. But that's why hard drives, which generally aren't thought of to be a big deal. In fact, some of them are made in China. They don't want these guys reselling them into other parts of the world, or especially the United States, that might have pre-existing, pre-installed viruses. And they've caught them, I think, in the past, pulling off chips and resoldering on new ones for both motherboards and hard drives, so that the Chinese military hacking crews can get at it. Frenchies on Clearwater Beach. Well, the first year I was down here, I spent the life of Charlie Harper at the north end of the island, walking back down to the Palm Pavilion and Frenchies. So yes, all that stuff rings true, but of course that was 25 years ago. I've aged a little bit since then. And I didn't hit it quite as hard as Charlie Harper. I didn't burn the candle at all four ends. TXN is a question. What's going on there? Again, we kind of looked at this. Let's get a little closer here. It's not as bad as it seems. You got high volume twice up there at the $200 and slightly over level on Texas Instruments, but more of in a trading range. You can always see generally when you break these 3x3 displaced lines that you generally get a big race down, even if it's only throughout the day, but it's problematic. But yeah, I think a big trading range from about 188 to 200 in Texas Instruments until the shortages abate. Any ideas on Tesla? Joan asks. Of course, everybody like me is thinking that eventually reality will come back into vogue. You did have a $1,000 94 print out here today on it. We had somebody call in at about 800, and why I liked it short, what we didn't have is any kind of signal to actually do that. This upthrust, probably over $1,000. Mr. $1 trillion man with Elon Musk. You just have to look at it and go, well, when is this? I mean, the history of America is, especially the media, is building people up just to tear them down. The old saying is, if they didn't build you, they can't tear you down. But I think a lot of the hype machine from Tesla and Musk is something that could turn fairly hard for him one day. 1,094 gave back, a great deal of that into this. I don't see anything that breaks the 3x3 extensively. And until I do, you might have another week or two before you set up a bigger downside in it. But I continue to think that one day we'll probably go from whatever it is, like now in the $1,000 range, back to maybe 40 or 50 or $100. We'll be back. We'll close up the show. You got plenty of time to email me or give me a call, 877-927-6648.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Super Bowl of earnings after the bell tonight. AMD, Microsoft, Google, Visa, Twitter, Google again, In-Phase Energy. I always like that company. I'll have to keep a closer eye on it. F5 Networks, Capital One. And, of course, I had a question about United Parcel. We've been talking about how every time another big container sits at the dock of Long Beach, a United Parcel Service plane gets its wings. It's going to be a air freight Christmas. I don't see how you get around it. Every time, one of those things backs up, someone's going to have it. And they're going to pay for it. I don't see how United Parcels or FedEx can do anything wrong between now and Christmas. Even if they start getting those containers out and on the streets, it's going to take a long time with, really 45, 50 days now until Christmas. Trading days, probably 45 trading days. Between now and Christmas, I don't think much changes on that. So United Parcel Service, FedEx, hard to see how those guys go wrong. After the bell, as we said, a lot of earnings. So we'll see what that happens. You got to think that maybe Twitter maybe shows a little leg tonight on how bad they get hit by The changes in Apple iOS, like Snap did. Probably a little less Microsoft. AMD, maybe we just get a little bit more color about how things go forward. But I think probably things will look a little bit different. But not surprised we had a run up into this, and then everybody kind of took their money and ran here before the end of the day. But we'll know a lot more in the morning. Sell when you can, not when you have to. And we'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.